Hi folks, this is Elizabeth. I am from Conifer Crow at Etsy. This is one of my Magpie bundles. It is one of the larger ones. They are about 6 by 9-ish. I suppose it helps if you do that. Yeah, 6 by 9-ish. They are all sewn. The covers are all sewn out of pretty much high quality decorator fabric with some quilter's cotton here and there and some meshy bits to give some texture, and then scribble stitched over. For those of you who don't know what a Magpie bundle is, for me the bundles are the fabric ones that you hold together, but junk journals are essentially a collection of vintage or just eclectic flat ephemera that have all been bound together into a journal form so that you can fill the pages with your creativity and not have to deal with blank pages. It can spark you to create in a way that you may not have thought to do if you were just on your own, which is always nice. It also collects everything, which is why I call them Magpie bundles, because it collects everything into one space for you. I am kind of a collector, as you probably have noticed from all of these particular videos. So this one is called Dandy. It is a 6 by 9. It is one of the large ones. This is suede. I love this. This actually was the fabric was cut from like decorator samples, so they had these really great grommets in it, which I think would just be fun to like hang stuff from. It has a tie, a wrap tie on it, made of some sort of decorator or something or other. And when you flip her open, it is cotton on the inside. Let's see if I can get this here all in frame. This one is dandy, and of course, definition of dandy is a well-dressed man, so I tried to kind of go a little in that direction with this. Excuse me. I do a lot of paper patchwork, as I've mentioned in all of my other videos. I love the way that it looks and the way that it feels. This is a fun little pocket, obviously here with a dude on it, because dandy. This is a little booklet for you to add journaling, and he just fits right back into that pocket. I used a lot of images from vintage art books in this one, and you get these great, like, grumpy dude and stuff like that. You just get a lot of great images that way. There's also vintage book pages, dictionary pages, a little bit of contemporary stuff, just to have places to journal on. I tried to leave some blank spaces so that you have a lot of room to journal on. One of my biggest things is that I have a tendency to get started. I get rolling on something and then I forget to quit. So I try very consciously not to cover up everything so that you have room for your own creativity as well. This is fun. That's actually just stuck on there so you can hide things behind it if you want to. These are great. They were jelly printed papers that I coffee dyed over the top of, and it acted as a resist. It's got this really great sort of feel to it. Flip outs. Some of them collaged, some of them not. Old stenography books. I love that. Happier Living for sale. That cracked me up. But the guys were always so well dressed in the 50s, like with their, well, the ones in advertising were, at least. This is jelly print again. This has a pocket on the edge of it so you can stick things into the pocket, and I did stick in some vintage ephemera with a paper clip to make sure that it wouldn't go flying out. Another one on the next page when you'd least expect it. And more. Always so dapper. Fold outs and map pages. I love, this is very thick cardstocky kind of paper too. It's kind of nice. Fabric flip. This is full of stuff. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a squirrel out my window right now. He is this scrappy little dude who comes and just cleans out my hazelnut tree every single year, and this year is no different. Luckily, I got some of the hazelnuts before he had a chance to eat them all, but I'm sort of locked in this battle with this squirrel, and he is literally sitting outside my window right now taunting me with a hazelnut in his mouth. Wildlife. See how they are? Here's another little pocket with some tags. All of these tags and things like this you can either use in your own artwork, you can stick them someplace else with glue or staples or whatever you want to, in a letter, put it in Happy Mail, whatever it is you want to do, and use the pockets for something else, or you can just leave them there as sort of like inspiration. So, coffee dye on old ledger paper. I'll speed this along. I'm rambling at this point, I think. I do that sometimes. Vintage science book pages. This one's a double pocket, so there's a pocket here, and then there's a pocket behind it too. And this guy just cracked me up. I got him from a vintage, or not a vintage sale, but a thrift shop in Portland called Scrap, and they have giant bins of photos that you can buy that are just other people's photos, like just random, you know, shots from vacation or whatever. So this guy from the wedding came from that particular store. If you're seeing this and that happens to be you, hi, I love your photo. Some of these are booklets, like this one I actually sewed together with a lot of different little pages in there with a photo, just so that you have some extra journaling space. And then you just stick it right back on the edge. I love this particular graph paper. It's a really good weight. Another tiny pocket. More patchwork pages. Pocket over here. I went a little crazy, I think, with the pockets and the inclusions and the craziness in this one, now that I'm looking at it. This came from this cool little book I got from a vintage shop. It was just this little thing, and it was falling apart, so I couldn't really keep it as it was, just as an object, but it was Daily Light of the Daily Path, a devotional textbook, and it belonged apparently to Francis Foster in 1928 when he was 22 years old. And then some little stickers and things like that to go with that. But it all fell apart, so I had to use it in something, so I figured you guys can find creative uses for that stuff. Yeah, here's the cover. You can see it was completely toast by the time it got to me. This guy, he's got it going on. You can see. He's going to see his lady friend here soon. Now I do have 10 still pictures if you want to try and zoom in and stuff like that on the Etsy listing itself. Oh, here's some more fun tags and cards. That's an Edward Gorey card from his deck. Fantod deck? Fanted? I'm not sure. This is a hidden envelope for your secret journaling needs. Flip. This was really interesting paper too, by the way. That it's one of those vintage art books, but when I coffee dyed it and then ironed it, pieces of the, I mean, like you can kind of see, it lifted the color in a really interesting way. So now it's almost like a completely different thing. It's just really awesome. I love it when unexpected things happen. Walt Whitman, who is awesome. Vintage photos. More little things for you to use. Fun. This is actually a pocket. There's a little pocket here for you. This part is see-through, so if you put something neat here, you'll be able to see it through. The bottom just ghosted a little bit. Vintage maps. And I stuffed this last one pretty full of various tags you can use and little pieces of stuff. It's actually a 2-tier pocket. So there's one here and one here. And that is the end of this one. Just fold it back around, wrap the cord, the tie back around it, and tuck her in, and you are good to go. And this is Dandy. Again, this will be in my shop at conifercrow.etsy.com. I'll pop that up here if I remember to do so. And it should be there. It should be there either this weekend. I'm hoping to have it up tomorrow, August 11th, 2018, by about noonish. I'm in Pacific time zone, so about noonish to 3ish Eastern time. If I have time, I have a friend coming in from out of town. So it may be as late as Monday for me to get this up, but it will be there. And I want to thank you for watching and listening to me ramble about squirrels and thrift shops. And we will see you again soon. I've got 2 more of these to do.